Good morning, students. Our chapter number 5, Coal and Petroleum, is going on. In the first period, we learn about natural and man-made resources, exhaustible and inexhaustible natural resources, formation of coal and carbonization process. Today, we will see the remaining part of this chapter. Before that, we will revise the formation of coal. Formation of coal. About 300 million years ago, Earth has a dense forest with low-lying wetland areas, and due to natural processes like flooding, these forests got buried under the soil, and again more soil deposited over on them, and they were compressed, and due to the high temperature from the downside and high pressure from the upper side, these vegetation converted into the coal. This is the formation of coal. Then this coal is produced in industry to get some useful product such as coke, coal tar and coal gas. Now we will see the product which we are getting from the coal. Our first product is coke. It is tough, porous and black substance. It is tough, porous and black substance. It almost pure form of carbon. Carbon. I already told that coal is produced from plant, and plant they are taking carbon dioxide inside. For that purpose, these all products are rich in carbon. Coke is used in the manufacture of steel and in the extraction of many metals. And coke is used in the manufacture of steel and extraction of many metals. Second one, coal tar. And it is black in color, thick liquid material. You can see in a figure 5.3 with unpleasant smell. Unpleasant, नको वाटणारा घाणेरडा वास. It is black, thick liquid with unpleasant smell. It is a mixture about 200 substances. It is a mixture about 200 substances. Products obtained from the coal tar are used as starting materials for manufacturing various substances used in everyday life and in industry. Coal tar, it is the most important substance which we are getting from the coal industry, and it is the mixture about 200 substances. It is black in color, it is a thick liquid material, and it has an unpleasant smell, but it contains 200 substances, and from that we are getting many more substances which we are using in our daily life. Here we will see like synthetic dyes, colors like synthetic dyes, drugs, explosives, फटाक्यांमध्ये सुद्धा वापरले जातात, perfumes, plastics, paints, photographic materials, roofing materials, etc. In all these content, these coal tar will be used in synthetic dyes, drugs, explosive, perfumes, plastics, paints, photographic material and roofing material. These many more things we are using in our daily life. For that purpose, it is mentioned coal tar is used as a sorting material for manufacturing various substances used in everyday life and in industry. Interestingly, naphthalene balls used to repel moths and other insects are also obtained from the coal tar. Naphthalene balls, घरामध्ये जे आपण डांबरगोळी वापरतो, डांबरगोळी, naphthalene balls. These naphthalene balls we are using to repel moths, from moths and other insects are also obtained from the coal tar. We are using these naphthalene balls, we are keeping in a cupboard to repel moths and insects from our things. These days, bitumen, a petroleum product, the bitumen which is found in a petroleum, and these petroleum products are used in a place of coal tar for melting the roads. We will see in the next point, petroleum point, about this. And next is last one, coal gas. Coal gas is obtained during the processing of coal to get coke. This coal gas, when it is obtained during the process of coal to get coke. In the first we learn this coke, and when the coal is converted into the coke, that time coal gas will be produced, and it is used as fuel in many industries situated near the coal processing plants. coal processing plants. Now we will see what is the use of this coal gas. What is the use of this coal gas? Now see, coal gas was used for street lightning, रस्त्यावरची जी लाईट असते त्याच्यासाठी यूज केला होता. कोल गॅस was used for street lighting for the first time in London in 1810 and in New York 1820. Nowadays it is used a source of heat rather than light. In ancient time, coal gas was used for the street lighting. रस्त्यावरती लाईटीसाठी वापरण्यात आली. त्याच्यानंतर ती आत्ताच्या काळात हीट एनर्जी सोर्स ऑफ हीट रादर दॅन लाईट, सोर्स ऑफ हीट एनर्जी म्हणून त्याच्याकडे जास्त पाहिलं जातं. Now our next point and second point from this chapter, petroleum. Now petroleum, it is not only a petrol product, it is not only a petrol, it is a combination of many more materials. It is a combination of many more materials like LPG, petrol, kerosene, diesel, lubrication oil, paraffin wax and bitumen. All these content we are obtained in the petroleum world. It consists all of these materials. Only petrol is a separate material. Now we will see, you know that petrol is used as a fuel in light automobiles such as motorcycles, scooters and cars. We are aware about that when we ride the motorcycle, that we are aware about that material, that vehicles are run only the petrol. And heavy motor vehicles like trucks, tractors run on diesel. Here anybody of you think about why the heavy motor vehicles run on only diesel? Why that not run on petrol? Or the light automobiles, they are only running on the petrol and not on diesel? What is the reason behind that? Why heavy motor vehicles they require diesel? I tell you the answer. Because heavy automobiles such as trucks and cars require a huge amount of force to run the vehicle at the slow speed. As almost everybody knows that the petrol burns faster than diesel. We are aware about that. Petrol burns faster than diesel, and the diesel engine achieves higher at slow speed. Achieves torque at higher at slow speed. Here the heavy automobiles, what happen in heavy automobiles such as trucks and cars, they require huge amount of force to run the vehicle at slow speed. But we are aware about that petrol, it burns faster than diesel. That's why the diesel engine achieves torque at higher at slow speed. For that purpose we are using diesel engine for the heavy motor vehicles. Now we will see next part. Petrol and diesel are obtained from a natural resource called petroleum. Both petrol and diesel are obtained from the petroleum. Now we will see how petroleum was formed. How petroleum is formed. We will see. Petroleum was formed from organisms living in sea. Coal, it is found from plant material, and petroleum, it is found from organisms which are living in the sea. Petroleum was formed from organisms living in the sea. As these organisms died, when the organisms are died, like fish, all many more are there, shark, other animals are there which are present in the sea. When they are died, that time their bodies settled at the bottom of the sea. And got covered with a thin layer of sand and clay. Over millions of years, absence of air and high temperature and high pressure, they transformed the dead organisms into petroleum and natural gas. Now how the petroleum will be formed? Petroleum was formed from the living organisms which are present in the sea, and when these organisms will be died, many more organisms are there like fishes, shark, octopus, many more organisms are there. When these organisms are died, they are settled down, their bodies are settled down at the bottom of the sea, and sand and clay deposited on that. It will be covered by the sand and clay, and it goes deeper and deeper. And afterwards, what happened? Due to the high pressure from the downside and high pressure from the upper side and high temperature from the downside, these dead organisms are converted into the petroleum and natural gas. Converted into the petroleum and natural gas. Look at the figure here. Here upper side petroleum wells will be there. Here, then in the middle oil, upper side gas will be there, and downside water will be there. Then the impervious rock and reservoir rock will be there downside. Here you can see. Now see the next part. Look at the figure 5.4. It shows the deposits of petroleum and natural gas. Deposits of petroleum and natural gas. You see that the layer containing petroleum, oil and gas is above that of water. And why is it so? And why is it so? Here you can see in this picture, water is downside, upper side oil, and from that upper side gas will be there. Upper side, on the upper side gas, below that oil, and below that water will be there. Why oil is not mixed? We are aware about that oil is not mixed with water. Oil and gas is not mixed with water. They are lighter than water, that's why they float on a water. Oil is lighter than water, that's why it is float on water. Gas is lighter than oil and water, that's why it is float on upper side of the oil. Now the world first oil well, the world's first oil well the world's first oil well was drilled in Pennsylvania, USA in 1859. 8 years later, in 1867, oil was struck at Makam in Assam. In India, oil is found in Assam, Gujarat, Mumbai High, and in the river basins of Godavari and Krishna. River basins of Godavari and Krishna. These first oil well was drilled in Pennsylvania, USA in 1859. After that 8 years, in 1867, oil was struck in a Makam of Assam, and after that in many more many more states it will be found in Assam, in Gujarat, in Mumbai High, in the river of basins खोरे, नदीचे खोरे, जे कृष्णा आणि गोदावरीचे जे नदीचे खोरे आहेत त्या खोऱ्यांमध्ये हे जे आहेत जे पेट्रोलच्या खाणी त्या सापडल्या, ऑइल वेल्स तिथे सापडल्या. Refining of petroleum. Now we are aware about that in the petroleum product many more constituents are there, 6-7 constituents are there, and we are only removing petroleum product, and it is a combination of many more content, and for that purpose we have to remove all these constituents separate. We have to use all these different for the different work, like petrol for the 2-wheelers, diesel for the 4-wheelers. In this way we have to separate this first. For that purpose, refining of petroleum is necessary. Now we will see the point. Petroleum is a dark oily liquid. Petroleum is dark oily liquid. It has unpleasant odor. Unpleasant नको असणारा वास. Petroleum is a dark oily liquid. It has unpleasant odor. It is a mixture of various constituents such as petroleum gas, petrol, diesel, lubricating oil, paraffin wax, etc. Why it is necessary? Because it is a mixture of various constituents of petroleum gas, petrol, diesel, lubrication oil, paraffin wax, etc. Many more constituents are there in that petroleum, and we have to separate them. And the process of separating these various constituent fractions of petroleum is known as refining. And it is carried out in petroleum refinery. In picture 5.5, figure 5.5, the petroleum refinery is shown there. You see on the screen. Now after the petroleum refinery, we will get the various constituents from the petroleum, and what is the use of that, which is given in table 5.1. Now see the table 5.1. Table 5.1, which shows various constituents of petroleum and their uses. The product which are getting from the petroleum and what is their uses, that shown in the table 5.1. There, first column constituents of the petroleum and uses, second one uses. Now see first one. First thing we are getting from the petroleum is petroleum gas in liquid form, which is called LPG, which is called LPG in our gas, which is usually in the home here, and which is used in a fuel for home and industry. Fuel for home and industry. Second one, petrol, we are aware about that. It is used in motor fuel, aviation fuel for airplane, solvent for dry cleaning. Then third one, kerosene, fuel for stoves, lamps, and for jet aircrafts. Diesel, fuel for heavy motor vehicles, electric generators. Lubricating oil for the lubrication, like in Marathi, in local language we can say that wangan. Then paraffin wax main, in which is used in ointments, candles and Vaseline. Ointment मलम तयार करण्यासाठी, कॅन्डल्स मध्ये, वॅसलिन मध्ये आपण हा जे मेन आहे ते वापरतो. नेक्स्ट वन, सेवन्थ वन, बिटुमेन which is used in paints and road surfacing. Up to this we covered in this period. Remaining part we will see in the next period.